started. It's 9 a.m. Welcome everyone to the fiscal court meeting of September 24th, 2024. And Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum and has this been advertised properly?
Yes.
All right, good deal. Invocation. Magistrate Gay, would you lead us in our invocation this morning?
I'll be glad to.
Thank you.
Please pray with me. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to gather and discuss the issues of importance to our great county. Be with our men and women that stand in harm's way and protect our freedoms that we hold so dear. Father, and be with our first responders that respond when called upon, no matter the circumstances. And Father, give us the wisdom to make the decisions in the best interest of our citizens. And it's in your precious Son, Jesus' name, that we pray today. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, today we have a special guest for our pledge, and her name is Parker Stinnett. And Parker is an 8th grader at Bake Middle School, and she's the daughter of Pamela and Charlie Stinnett. Now, do you have your mom with you today? Okay. Tell us who you have with you.
This is my grandma.
Your grandma. What's her name?
Sue.
Sue. Okay. All right. Parker, if you will stand, we will stand with you, and we will let you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. And Parker, I have a certificate for you in recognition of leading the Pledge of Allegiance for the Boyle County First Report. And if you'll come up here, I'll present this to you, and we will get our picture made. All right. Right, got it. All right, so thank you so much. Appreciate you taking time out of your school day to come and do that for us.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing your grandma. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Okay. Approve prior meeting minutes of September the 10th. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion we approve.
Magistrate
Cullen.
Cullen. Second. Magistrate Gay. Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes?
No, you're due.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
We'll recognize this in
Motion carries.
trillions.
I gotta get back in my routine. You know, I've been gone.
Bless you, Lord.
All right. Budget transfers. Ms. Shannon.
Present the budget transfers of $25,429.85 for approval.
Okay.
Make a motion we approve.
Motion by Magistrate Cullen, second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion on the budget transfers? Mine all say judge. Hang on a minute. Okay. Yes, sir.
3 or 4 years ago, we had devastating numbers on animal disposal. Are we tracking pretty decently this year?
As far as I know, I have not been told if we are above anything budget or not. I think we're right on schedule. Yeah. Haven't been advised of anything different. So.
Last time Conservation District was here, they told us that the numbers were much lower than what they had, we anticipated they being, so probably about half of what we told they were being, so.
This isn't part of the debt. This isn't part of the debt animal
I didn't think so.
contract.
Oh, okay.
Separate
All right,
from.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have a motion and a second to approve the budget transfers. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Cash transfers.
I have a cash transfer from the general fund to EMS for $210,000. And a cash transfer from general fund to fleet for $7,500.
Okay, motion to approve cash transfers.
So moved.
Magistrate Gay, second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion on the cash transfer? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. And I think Shannon is going to, okay.
Today's packet totals $898,028.33. We had one additional to add on was $182, so that brings the grand total to $898,210.33.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, you have a motion by Magistrate Cullen, a second by Magistrate Wagner. Any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. And Elena is not here today, and I would like for us to remember her and her family. Her father passed away Sunday evening. So we are, as soon as we hear arrangements, we will make sure that all of you all know. But we will also adjourn in memory of him today. So. All right, old business, we have occupational license fee ordinance, second reading. Okay.
This is just the second reading of the occupational license fee that would charge a 5% minimum on net profits. Nothing has changed since the last meeting. Ask for your approval for the second reading.
Make that motion.
Have a motion by Magistrate Gay, is there a second? Second. Second by Magistrate Wagner. Any discussion?
Yeah, you said a 5% minimum?
$25.
$25.
$25 minimum.
$25 minimum.
It's like if you have a zero amount owed, it's still, it's like $25.
Yeah, well, 5% of zero is still zero.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we had that right.
We have that corrected now.
It's the loss last night, I'm just not myself.
You should be used to it at this point.
Who day?
I mean, let's be honest.
All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. All
I
right.
think they're calling them who done now.
Yeah, I think so.
That will be published in
Or
the
just
newspaper.
who.
Yes.
Okay. EMS, are they here?
He was here. There he is.
Okay, we got some years of service awards.
Hang on, if you don't care 1 second, Kimberly's coming in, she's on duty today. So.
Sure, sure. Yes,
We'll
absolutely.
wait for you, sir.
I'll go ahead and do our proclamation. Is Steve in here? There's Steve, okay. It's National HR Professional Day, and so we'll do this in honor of our HR Director, Steve Griffin. Whereas human resource professionals play a pivotal role in supporting, developing, and advocating for the workforce within our nation. Whereas the dedication and expertise of human resource professionals are instrumental in fostering inclusive and equitable work environments. Whereas human resource professionals contribute significantly to talent management, organizational development, and the well-being of employees. Whereas the work of human resource professionals is essential in upholding labor laws, compliance, and ensuring fair and just treatment of all the employees in the workplace. And whereas human resource professionals are at the forefront of driving positive organizational change, promoting employee engagement, and enhancing workplace culture. Now therefore, I, Bull County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom and the Bull County Fiscal Court do hereby proclaim September 26, 2024 as National Human Resources Professional Day. I call upon all citizens to honor and recognize the vital contributions of human resource professionals and their profound impact on workplaces and communities nationwide. And Steve, we sure couldn't do it without you.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. You have anything you'd like to say?
I think you said it all.
All right, well,
Thank
we will
you.
present
Thank
you
you.
with your proclamation. Yay!
Get one a little closer. All right, thank you.
Not too close. You're welcome. All right, now we'll backtrack to our EMS years of service. Oh, I'm sorry, proclamation. Have a motion to approve. Magistrate Wagner,
Second.
second by Magistrate Cullen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. I get excited when EMS comes in the room, so I'm sorry. I get excited about EMS. All right, so we have 2 5 years of service. First one is Kimberly Hagan, 2019 to 2024. Kimberly, let's keep them here.
Right, perfect.
Thank you so much for your service. Yeah. And then Michael Mattingly, 5 years of service with EMS.
Got it?
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you all do. Y'all have a busy morning. And then I think Director Rogers has something he wants to include the court on.
So we had an exciting, exciting news yesterday. We every September we do our billing audit by our audit company, and basically what it is, it's a Medicare audit. What they do is they take 20% of our runs and go through our runs and look to see for billing errors that not only occurs on our side but on the billing company side. And yesterday we got a 0.0% error.
Woohoo!
Which is quite an achievement. We've been going, this is our 6th year trying to get that. We went from anywhere from 18% to 4 to 6 to 7%. So what that does is just helps maximize our billing efforts and reimbursements, and limits the amount of money we have to pay back. So it's been quite the process, but
and I think these two people that are here today are involved in that quite a bit.
yeah, Michael and Kimberly are heavily involved with our billing process, especially with building it, and then also all of our providers. I mean, every person that takes care of patients, when they put that information in, it's a lot of work to put it in, and then all of our supervisors will go back and look at it, send it back to them if they missed something, and so it's quite a process that we've built, but it looks like it's paying off, so we're excited to announce that to you all.
But in congratulations of that, we have you all a certificate of appreciation
Oh,
in
yeah.
recognition of your
That's great.
0% Medicare billing audit. So, all three of you all want to come up? That's pretty awesome.
It is.
0 error rates. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
In this, came to get my mom the other night when she lost half her blood. She's 92, lost half her blood in her stomach from an ulcer. And I mean, my husband thought she was gone, and the EMS came in, took her, and saved her. And then again, I'm sitting at the ball game. My grandson hasn't had SVT in a long time, a couple of years, and he had a real severe SVT. It's supraventricular tachycardia. Your heart just beats like 200 beats a minute. And he had a really bad spell, and so I was like, we've got EMS down here, and I know they can fix it if it's something wrong. Mm-hmm. So we went down there and they checked him, and he was fine by that time. He knew he was coming out of it, but I just can't say enough.
Yeah, we can. We appreciate everything that you all do on a daily basis.
Yeah. Thank you all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day and be safe out there.
Thank you.
All right, next, Recycling Director Angie Muncy, HHW, and Tire Amnesty Update.
Good morning.
Come on down. Good morning.
How is everybody?
Great.
Just wanted to report that last few weeks has been pretty hectic, but we've survived. Tire collection event went wonderful. We'll not have the exact total probably for a couple months, but I'm guessing in the 30,000s, which I think last time was around 26,000. So I think we definitely passed that. We never stopped. Never stopped. Appreciate Gerald Woodford for the 2 inmates for the 2 days we had. So them two with my poor employees, they hung with it. They were something. So I appreciate it, Brian. Our household hazardous waste event was definitely a success, as you're going to find out. So successful, we went about $18,000 over our grant. So I have, yeah, $18,114.49 to be exact. But we had 2.5 tractor trailer loads go out. Just some stats for your information. I didn't think we could do any more paint than we had during COVID, but now we're looking at 12.94 tons of paint went out. Had over 6 tons of flammable liquids, a ton of pesticides, over 300 fluorescent bulbs, collected well over 2 tons of batteries, lithium included. I mean, it was amazing. We even had some mercury come in, so that's always a good thing.
Can you explain what will happen about the $18,000 over the grant?
Yeah, it truly was rather funny. I was bragging and she said, which means?
Yeah.
Which means, I said, which means we have to pay that truly. So what's going to happen, like I said, there's never a guarantee, but the state, as a rule, the Division of Waste usually don't penalize you for going over. So therefore, I'm going up the chain of command. You know, I've sent the email and everything and invoice stating that we're over, you know, what happened. So I'm just waiting to hear from them.
Okay.
We done this a couple years ago. We were over 8,000, and if you remember, they were gracious enough to give us that. So I think they're gracious enough, or we're going to put Trilly to the governor, one or the others.
What's the alternative if we don't have these events? The trash ends up where?
It's
Over
in
the
the
hillside.
groundwater.
Everywhere.
So 18, even if we have to.
Four lanes coming in and waiting, and so appreciate everybody's patience in the county. Everybody had a lot of patience because it just takes time. You know, we were the space, we had to change spaces because you want me to show you?
That would be great.
You know, the state is building a new building over there, so it was a different spot. So the spot we had was a lack for space.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do to help keep our county clean and beautiful.
We're trying.
So 3 years for another tire disposal, and how many for the household?
Household hazardous waste, as long as the state's giving grants, we have it every year.
Every year, good.
So the tire event though is every 3
Every
years.
year.
And then you are allowed to use other counties in right now the Bluegrass ad, it's in here, so I suggest anybody that's got any is use it. All you have to do is the state.
Yeah, Mercer just had theirs.
And we have a list, so if they want to call up to the office, Katina has the list and she can tell people.
Tell them though that they
what
might
county.
want to make sure when you give it to them, because some counties have switched around with
Okay.
other counties. So
Okay.
just tell them to call that judge's office just to make sure.
Angie, I'm a little confused by the comment you just made. My understanding that tire was any county can bring, anybody can bring them in.
Yes.
But our hazardous waste is only Boyle County is eligible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to
Yes.
clarify that.
Yes.
Thanks. That's a lot.
Well, I had some people come in and said they had just bought like a new farm or something and
Oh.
they cleaned it out. I had it just like the tires, it's different, but I had a guy come all the way from Whitley City with
With
2
tires.
loads of tires because he bought a house to tear it down because he bought the land and it was filled with tires.
Oh, gosh.
So,
Wow.
you know, that's what you get. So
All right, any other
But Angie,
comments?
if you-
I appreciate everybody's
While you're
support.
there, we did have a committee meeting recently with Angie, which I can report later on, but we talked about the firebox, is that what it is?
Yes.
So while you're here, why don't you go ahead and
Well,
address?
I think Trilly wanted to wait till next meeting for that.
If that's okay.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, because it was part of the committee report, but we can hold the committee report till the next time, too.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. I appreciate your
Yeah.
support.
Thank you.
you.
Okay, appreciate that report. Bryce Gibson, Shepard House. Morning.
Morning, how y'all doing today?
Good.
All right, we've got 30 active clients enrolled in the Boyle County program. We have 2 clients that are in inpatient treatment. We have 5 Boyle County rocket dockets, 4 Mercer rocket dockets. We've got multiple clients that are involved in circuit district and family courts and referrals from probation and parole. The Women's House in Boyle County has 10 long-term residents right now. We've got 4 that are currently employed. We've got 2 people that have graduated in September from the 6-month CITP program. We had 1 graduate from the women's 12-month program. Our inpatient center in Lexington will be opening probably within the next 60 days. And one other thing, so we've started offering laundry services and shower services to our unsheltered members of the community. We're running that stuff from 12 to 3 o'clock in the afternoons, Monday through Friday. We didn't want them there while our clients were there, so that's why the times are the way that they are.
Is it walk-in or do they have to have a voucher?
We've been doing a voucher, but I think that we're gonna change it to where they can just walk in. We partnered with the United Way to do this stuff, and they've supplied like socks, toboggans, gloves, a lot of winter stuff. They've also supplied us with a lot of canned goods, so that way we can send them out the door with something. They are also supplying like all the laundry detergent and stuff for the showers, and also hygiene packs. So we're just trying to help the community as much as we can.
Sounds good.
Thank y'all.
Taylor Wofford, you got anything you want to add to that?
No, but I would like if Tanith could get with Julie to talk about the services they provide, go over the contract
Okay.
with the IOP, not the SAP program, but the IOP. I think that would
Okay.
clear up some confusion.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's tomorrow, correct? We have, double check.
All right, next, Taylor Wofford, new Vista agreement.
So here requesting fiscal court's permission to go ahead and continue our contract with New Vista. Nothing's changed on services, and the amount of money is the same since I come into office. So it's basically the same contract that we have since I've come into office. So there's nothing really has changed on it. So I'm requesting you all approve me to sign the contract.
I'll let you over.
Okay, we have
Second.
a motion by Magistrate Ellis, a second by Magistrate Gay. Is there any discussion? Contract is going to start on September 1st, and then the 1-year contract expires September 1st of next year. Okay, that's the correct dates on that. Okay. All right, no changes other than that, I guess.
Just a word, this is a proud jailer today. His daughter was united and married Saturday. He had a little tear in his eye.
Yeah,
He had to get away.
And also Magistrate Harmon's the one who united them. So.
Okay, and the contract is $4,500 per month. That's the correct amount. Okay, just want to verify all that on me. All right.
And I'll just let you figure in case you don't, what that provides for is a qualified mental health professional that comes in and meets, and also a caseworker. So when I was putting all this together, I relied heavily on Roland Tarter and Kathy Miles, and both of them said we needed a kind of a case manager. So when these folks are coming out, they help them find homes, make sure they're going to their doctor's visits, stay on their medication, those kinds of things to keep them from falling through the cracks and keep the door of the jail from, just circulating. So that's kind of what it provides. And we've also added the telehealth. So one of the things, when I ran, I said I want to be able to identify women that's come from abuse, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, any kind. And so we do that. So we have now a telehealth monitor in there, where if it's a male coming to visit with the clients that day, a female it's experienced past abuse, may not feel comfortable talking to a man. So now they can meet with somebody in Lexington through the telehealth, and they keep that same person. So that was that's the only thing that's changed since I've come in. That changed a couple of years ago. So we added that, and then they paid for the equipment, and we just installed it.
So I had a question. I was just asking Chief about it too. When we do these contracts and we're just renewing them, do we have to bid them out?
No, because if they're a professional service, we're not qualified. So if they're licensed, like healthcare, mental health, we don't have to do that.
Okay. All right, just to make sure we came by yesterday, and our auditors are hard at work in here. Make sure we're by the by.
And then, like I say, we take everything through Chris, any kind of decisions like that, we
It doesn't
always,
make me feel better.
we always, we always go through a county attorney.
Yes,
I have something totally off subject. While you're here, I'd like to just kind of go over the.
can we go ahead and vote on this? Does it have to do with this contract? Okay, let's go ahead and vote on this and get that out of the way. Any other discussion on the contract? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, now, go ahead.
I have finished my review of the restricted account with Mercer County, and I just want to get some guidance from you. It looks like Mercer County, the best I can put back together, put in $245,156.49. That's what they put in the restricted account. The expenses totaled $185,276.42. So the difference is $59,880.27, which we would owe them back. The portion of the bond that is the jail, and you take that number times 35%, which is what their agreement was on that bond, comes to $25,168.97. So I need some guidance from you on, are we just going to give them the $59,880, which is what we owe them back? We talked about what to do with this bond, and I think we need some guidance on how to handle this.
What's the jail committee say? Have the jail committee discussed this at all? I would say throw it back to the committee.
Okay,
Let them discuss it,
okay,
and then bring it back here and we
okay.
can go from there.
For the next, when do you meet next?
We just met, so.
Just met where we can meet again
Yeah.
to discuss
Yeah.
that before the
Yeah.
next meeting. I think we need to do that.
I think we got 25,000 in question here on how we're gonna handle that, so.
Okay.
Can you
I
provide
think you know
those-
my feelings
email me
on
those
it,
numbers so
Yes,
when
I
we have
will.
our meeting
Yeah.
with it?
Discuss it a little more.
Yeah.
I think you know my feelings on
I
it,
do.
but we can discuss it a little more.
Yeah,
Okay, so you all can meet again then before our next fiscal court meeting?
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
send it to everybody right now then.
And then-
It'd be
Thank
good to
you.
provide
Thank
us
you.
some guidance on that, because there's three of us that don't actively participate in that committee.
Right.
I excluded Barry only because he's a former jailer, he's well acquainted with the whole thing, but
Right.
I don't feel comfortable talking about it without the committee coming with a
that'd be good.
recommendation.
Okay. Do that.
What about the new Vista? Are we, for the SAP, it was supposed to have been on here today, or we gonna wait and do it next week?
The
or-
only contract I had was this one. The one you just,
Okay.
the one we just approved. That's the only contract I have.
Do you have another contract?
Well, the new Vista the SAP contract, which Shepard House provides for the jail, it's the same contract that Jailer Harmon originally started with, the same money. The only thing on it was we needed to change the dates for the following years. Chris has looked at it, and he's approved it, and I was wanting to go ahead.
Well, let's get
I
that
don't
next.
have
Yeah,
I don't have it.
Okay.
yeah, I would say next court then.
2 weeks.
Sorry.
You have to come.
Make sure that, you have, you don't have it either, do you?
I do,
You
but
do
I don't
have-
have the corrected one now.
Okay.
So Chris, are you able to change the dates? Because I think it originally come from our office. That's why they couldn't change the dates at Shepard's house.
And I don't know if I have that or the original document on it.
Could you let him know that,
We need a new contract.
well, we just need to fix the dates that we don't have where this was written before he come into office. He doesn't have to be able to go in and just change it. So if we can do that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, fire district tax rates. Morning.
Morning. I'm here to announce the Boyle County Fire Department tax rate.
You need a scroll, you know.
It is 10 cents per $100.
Has not changed.
Has not changed since 1954.
Yes.
Cannot change.
It cannot change.
It cannot change, that's right. All right, do we have a motion to approve the
Make that
fire
motion,
district
we
tax
approve.
rate?
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Cullen, second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank
you
you. Appreciate it.
Easy. That's
Yes, sir.
an easy one.
Okay, Preston Miles and Dan Nolet, is Dan here as well?
Mr. Nolet is out of town,
Okay,
so you're left with the second strand.
that's awesome.
First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come before you, and particularly for the support that the fiscal court has given to this program. Through this effort, Area homeowners, small businesses, farms, government organizations, and nonprofit organizations have had access to discounted rates on solar installations through carefully vetted and experienced installation contractors. We are now in the fourth quarter of this process. We have stayed pretty much on the timeline we presented to you last fall. We appreciate working with Mr. Nichols. He's done a great job of updating the portal and keeping that up to date.
He's good like that.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So easy to get along with. At this point, we have a little over 70 inquiries. Of those, about 2/3 are from Boyle County. We have 7 homeowners and small business and farm operations that have signed contracts. 1 went into install last Monday, 2 more are scheduled, and the other 4 are yet to be scheduled.
Now, are they all using the same vendor? Are they using the same vendor?
In Boyle County, we had the good fortune to have 9 companies submit an RFP to us. We did slip a week behind schedule studying all those proposals. We selected 2, Solar Energy Solutions, which is headquartered in Lexington and Louisville, and Solar Holler, which is headquartered in West Virginia. And as a matter of fact, of the signed contracts, it's 4 and 3.
Okay.
So it's essentially the same.
Are you pleased with that?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
great.
Most comparable benchmark would be Frankfurt, and we're pretty much online with their experience in their first year.
Awesome. Well, I call that a success.
We do.
Not on a day like today, though.
No, not on a day like today, when it's pouring the rain and cloudy. Any questions or comments for Preston?
Nope.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate you giving us an update. All right, next, County Administrator, Julie Wagner, Animal Control Humane Society Agreement.
Okay, you have in your packet a proposed addendum to the mutual agreement with Danville County Humane Society. There are 2 proposed changes, and putting that forth for your discussion and consideration.
I'm gonna go back to, has the committee discussed this?
No, I would like to move that we table this until the Animal Control Committee has had an opportunity to examine this more thoroughly. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion to table, second by Magistrate Gay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. It'll be put on the table, and we will bring it back in 2 weeks.
And same as the other committee, the Animal Control Committee just recently met. I think
Right.
someone's going to report on that, so we can have another special call meeting
Okay.
to discuss this issue.
If we can get that done and get it back on the agenda for 2 weeks, that'd be great. All right, HIP contract?
Okay, it's time to renew the ankle bracelet home incarceration program. Just some numbers to give you an idea of the success of this. We have spent $26,100 in paying for the ankle bracelets. At the $65 a day rate, that's a savings of $146,888.
Wow.
Well worth it.
Yes.
And if it could be worse, if they have medical bills on top of that, we were
Yes.
having them taken care of.
Yes.
So it could be more.
Yes, it's well worth it.
Well,
If they have an artificial limb, they automatically get this program, right?
HIP.
Right.
The only change is to add a clause for an annual price adjustment based on the cost of living, and that would be equal to whatever the consumer price index says.
That's on page 3, and it's highlighted yellow.
Mine's not highlighted here, guys.
Okay, well, it's G.
It's G on page 3.
G on page 3. You know, costs go up even with the business, so
Hold on.
I don't see a G.
I don't see a G on
We
here.
don't have a G on ours.
now.
3 of 6.
Well, it says, upon renewal of this agreement effective October 24th, 2024, the base daily rate shall be adjusted annually in an amount equal to the Commonwealth of Kentucky's published cost of living adjustment.
Okay, you're probably looking at, I had to send you the 01, and then on Monday I sent you the new
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's it.
So it will be on a separate,
There you
I
go.
think you got the wrong, it's the CT contract 2024, Commonwealth Testing Contract, in your files.
Yeah,
on-
it's
on-
a separate.
Yeah, I got it now. It's separate.
I knew I put it.
Everybody find it?
There it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
So that paragraph G is the only thing that has been changed.
So, refresh me on this one. Well, do you want to make a motion? You have a motion first, and then
I
we
do not have
discuss.
a motion. I'd like to have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Magistrate Sleeper, second by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion?
Yeah. So, what is? Do we? I forget. Do we charge the people using the ankle
We just
bracelets
talked about that
for
yesterday.
them, or no? I know we discussed it before. I'm
So we were like trying to figure out the best way to do it because it's not really specified in the orders that, you know, the judge writes in his bench orders as far as who's going to pay for it. I'm going to talk to Judge Barsati today because, I mean, I believe that the people who come into court who have hired an attorney, you know, are able to pay them to argue on their behalf, you know, gave them a sizable retainer or whatever, they should be able to pay for that themselves. And I want the judge to, like, when home incarceration is, when he allows that, to specify on the bench order whether to be paid by the fiscal court or to be paid by a defendant.
Well, when they're incarcerated at our fine facility, they do get a bill, right? Most times.
They're billed, and then, you know, of course, we turn that over to pay my jailer, and.
Yeah, but they're expected to have a payment from if they go to jail. So I would say if they're not having to go to jail and getting the ability to still go to work and be with family, I mean, yeah, if y'all could work on that, that'd be great.
And then if we do that, Judge, we'll have to amend my budget to show a line coming in for where it goes out, so.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Still, $100,000 savings. It's pretty good.
It's awesome.
100 plus. When you add in the medical.
Magistrate Ellis?
Yes, and even beyond the savings that Magistrate Collin mentioned, we heard from our jailer a couple of years ago about even the philosophical aspects of this and the societal aspects of this, where men and women who'd otherwise be away from their families are with their families, which is critical. And number two, we have some wonderful employers in this community, and some of these folks who would otherwise be in jail are back in the workforce and productive taxpayers in our community. So I think it's always worth restating those two things, especially the family aspect of it all.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Is that all you have, ma'am? Okay. All right, we are up to magistrate reports. Before we start that, I noticed that Director Bryan's in the room. You want to say anything about weather related?
Just be vigilant the rest of the week. We had kind of had one speak up on us this morning.
Yeah.
The model was showing that it was going to track north of us, which we did get some good rain out of it.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
A couple hundred KU customers over in Bluegrass Estates and out 150 there without power, and then we've got some on 1.7 that are inter-county. But
okay.
Other
All right.
than that, we're
good deal. Thank you.
2 sirens right now, and I know Julie put this out on our Facebook page this morning. The Stringland siren and the siren in Parksville on Tennessee Ridge are temporarily down. So
okay.
We tried to notify those people that are within earshot of that, or those two.
Okay. All right, and I think the lights on the bypass are something funky going on with them too. Yeah, okay, because it was a huge line this morning coming from Parable.
Pretty good backup.
Yeah, Took me 20 minutes from Hughes Lane to the bypass, so it was backed up. All right, magistrate reports, and we'll start with Magistrate Gay today.
Thank you. No real reports, and my committee report we've talked about, we'll postpone that since there's an issue that we're going to put on the agenda. We did meet on the 9th, and we talked about the events that, the solid waste event that had happened and the tire event that was getting ready to happen. And then we have another issue that I guess we're going to discuss at a upcoming meeting.
You'll present your formal report at
Yeah.
the next meeting. Okay, all right. Magistrate Sleeper?
The Citizen Advisory Committee for the Rural Heart Lung Research Project that I've been reporting on periodically met on the 16th. And Solid Waste Director Angie Muncy and Terry Dunn and I are all on that committee. And we looking for a location for the mobile exam unit that will be coming in and performing the exams in Boyle County and the heart lung study. The site will need to be ready by July of 2025. I'm suggesting that we look at the suitability of the North Stewart Lane property that we newly acquired, because the infrastructure requirements are pretty hefty as far as power and concrete foundation and things like that. So, and also then Director Muncy also suggested maybe the possibility of the government services building location. So we'd like to look at those and just see if they're suitable or not.
Okay.
And then bring that back to you for consideration. It would incur no cost to the county either way, whatever. They have funding in the grant to handle that. So.
Okay.
Second thing, the Economic Development Authority met on the 16th as well at Danville City Hall. Judge Bottom and I were present as the county members of the authority, but required quorum was not there, so we couldn't conduct any business, so no action was taken. The Animal Control Committee met on 9/17. I'll give that report in just a moment after I have one more thing. I, along with our Emergency Management Director, Brian Coel, and our Assistant Director, Sam Butler, attended a 12-hour training session on local volunteer and donations management. It was conducted by the Kentucky Department of Emergency Management, and we learned how to effectively manage the many critical aspects of volunteers and donations in a disaster situation. It was very worthwhile. It was a free training, and I really appreciated the opportunity, and Director Coel for making me aware of that, so being able to attend. Animal Care and Control Committee met on September 17th, and our Shelter Director Elias Delbridge, Rhiannon Greenwell, Animal Care Specialist, ACOs, Jessica Joseph, and then Magistrate Gay and myself were in attendance. Our welcome was extended to Rhiannon, and congratulations to Elias as our new Shelter Director. Elias reported there's been good cooperation between the Humane Society and the Animal Control. He reported that at 9/17, the shelter number of dogs is 22, 15 at the shelter plus 7 in foster care. He described the relationship with fosters as improving and also described the relationship with the veterinarian as good. Both Elias and Jessica continue to work to keep current their state and national certifications, and firearm training was brought up and is requested to be a priority, so we need to work on that to make that happen. Elias is to follow up with Julie Wagner on the orientation for budget training, and so that's being set up, so he'll be trained on how to deal with the budget and such. And then acquisition of animal control officer jackets are a priority as we see cooler weather. I know it hasn't arrived yet, but colder weather is going to be coming in, so they've requested that we make that a priority as far as their uniforms, getting those jackets in. So it's respectfully submitted. That's it.
All right, your motion to...
yeah, make a motion.
All right. Motion by Magistrate Sleeper, second by Magistrate Gay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Magistrate Sleeper. Magistrate House.
Thank you, Judge. The judge and I are continuing to work with the state on the high likelihood, I believe, of getting back the 4 or so acres around the Crawford House. It was turned over to the state well over 25 years ago, and unfortunately there's been zero work done on the property, so that even the Boy Scout camp that is there has trees the size of my arm growing out of some of the windows. and the building's still in decent shape. So we're hoping that the State Finance Cabinet will understand that now that the Crawford House, one of the most important historic battlefield buildings in the entire state, is being restored, that it would be nice for us to have, separate from that, a county park that would give great use to everyone in the county and access to the Chaplain River. Not to mention the everlasting spring, which was the reason that the Confederate troops were camped below the Crawford House. So we'll
And I might mention the economic development that can come from that for the city of Fairbanks.
Wonderful, yeah, absolutely, thank you, Judge. The judge and I have been talking ever since the Governor's Local Issues Conference. I met briefly with representatives of the state, economic development and others. Back in 1986, I had the privilege of being in Japan for a month-long study business tour. This was back when Toyota was coming, and the governor was interested in all aspects, including my former role with Blue Cross. And obviously, we were interested in a contract. And it was fascinating to me, when I was there, people, as soon as they found out I was from Kentucky, mentioned one thing that was not a surprise at all: Kentucky Fried Chicken. But what was a stunning revelation was how many executives there knew about Ephraim McDowell. So since meeting with 2 or 3 representatives of the governor's conference, the judge and I have been talking about the possibility, and this is really a stretch, but with all our wonderful facilities here and the reputation of the McDowell family in this community, we're going to reach pretty high and try to put together a women's health conference that I believe would draw people from not just the United States, but from the conversations that I had in Japan, and other people that I met with there were from Europe. That with what Ephraim McDowell achieved for women, saving, I believe it was 13 out of 15 women whose lives he saved, with the ovarotomy, world-changing surgery that was the first done by him. I think there is some possibility that we could put together that kind of a conference. So
I'd like to bring Magistrate Wagner in on that too.
Absolutely, our
Because,
nurse, yes.
She has all the
Wonderful.
health
Yes, thank you.
history. Yeah, she can.
Yeah.
I think she could be very beneficial. to
So I pray fervently that we can pull that out, because think of the economic development aspects, especially if we got folks from across the pond to come to a conference like that. I'm still very frustrated because there's hardly a day goes by that I don't get calls or texts or emails about Perryville Road. The best, I believe, that we're going to hope for now is some patching, which I think will be visibly to the detriment of visitors coming here. And we're pushing very hard, and the judge encouraged me to start pushing again in January, that yes, the fiscal year that they've told us about would be 2025, and I'm going to push for the fact that they'll be putting down asphalt by July 1, which is the fiscal year 2025. It's just a detriment to everything we do about economic development and visitation. Related to that, I am more than frustrated, and look back, and on the 26th of August, I wrote to District DOT in Elizabethtown to re-emphasize the critical nature of Horseshoe Bend on Mitchellsburg Knob, where there is no way I would get within 2.5 to 3 feet of the guardrail at Horseshoe Bend, which has a ravine that's about 60 feet deep to the right of it, because 8 inches of asphalt going in at least 3.5 feet is cracked and could collapse with the weight of even my small pickup truck. So I'm going to push very hard that they do something. I think in the last meeting I mentioned that from here to that back wall, there's a grassy area at the cliff above the broken concrete where they could just recreate a new lane there and do something that could be a life and death matter. So we're going to be finding a way to re-correspond with the state on that. Many of you may not be aware that 12 to 15 years ago, an outfit called Kinder Morgan, it was at that time an $8 billion corporation, had plans to send Dr. Preston Miles and I coordinated on an effort to make sure that we didn't have a 24-inch, now nearly 80-year-old pipeline pushing reverse, if you know anything about plumbing, pushing reverse natural gas liquids, which contain many toxins and cancer-causing elements. We were very successful a dozen years ago, thank you, Preston, for your help back then, with a couple of public hearings and quite a bit of correspondence with the newspaper. We were successful in pushing them back. This was going to be transported from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and go underneath our major water supply, Harrington Lake. And we pushed back and they gave up, finally. I was going through my district and into Barry's district just the other day, and all of their lines have new flags on them. And I've been unsuccessful to date in finding out, and perhaps Congressman Comer could help us to find out just exactly what Kinder Morgan is up to, that they would go out and resurvey, because those pipelines are all World War II era pipelines, and if they have any designs in their mind of doing what they had planned to do 12 or 15 years ago, we need to alert every county in every state from the Great Lakes down to the Gulf of Mexico, because that would be a very dangerous venture in pipelines that we found out in talking to people who put pipelines in today. You don't just backfill with all the trash of rocks and everything else, because vibrations can ruin those pipes. And there's no way they can tell me that the, quote, pigs that they pull through those to say, oh, gee, the pipeline on the inside looks great from here to the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. So I've set off the alarm bells about that. I hope there's nothing going on with it, but trust but verify. And I will end with the fact that the weekend of the 4th and the weekend of the 11th, first the Perryville Festival and then Portland Festivals are coming up. So I'm sure Judge will have more to talk about that as well. So, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you, Measure Mills. Measure Bowden. Measure Bowden's got a lot of news.
I tell you, it's been an eventful last 3 weeks, month really, but my mom got really sick and almost died, and if it hadn't been for my sister, my husband, my daughter, my family to help me get through it, we couldn't have gotten through it, but they helped me to keep up with all this plans I had, and I said, it's just, we had a party in a park, and it really was a party in a park. At 5 o'clock, I had 15 people there, and I was like, oh, we're really in trouble. This is gonna be bad. But overall, we had almost 500, or they say over 500. At one point, there was 380 some in the park at one time. So it really, and what really hit me most was that the 150 stayed. My husband sat in there and he said, I don't even know what that Inside Out movie was about. He said, I never could figure that out. He said, I counted 150 people watching it. I said, they stayed and they cleaned up after themselves. There wasn't a piece of trash where 150 people sat and watched a movie. And I said, thank you for bringing your trash. And she's like, this young lady, the young man said, he said, they better bring their trash over here because this is a free movie, you know. And I thought, this is ownership. This is our park. And they cleaned up, and it was just, and a teenager said, it's about time we did something like this in Junction. So they really enjoyed it. I got really good feedback, and it was just, PJ Bystretcher, Pat Bennett, Debbie, there's Karen and Scott and Brittany Kaufman and Carol Sargent, and my sister, my daughter said she's made so many. She ran out of 400 cotton candies. She said, I did this in my sleep, 400 of them. And then she did popcorn right after that, so she never had. Yeah. But it just was a really good night. I saw Jason there and Tom. didn't see Jason, I heard he was there. Saw
You heard him.
Tom.
You heard him.
I
That's
heard
it. Yeah, we heard
him.
him.
And then
Be
Julie
on
said
the
she was
lookout.
there. I was glad to have, everybody come that could. Everybody had so many things going on, Mayor Douglas, but anyway, Mayor Doug. Oh, Rita Douglas. Oh my goodness, she was there at 11 o'clock when we were cleaning up. She was still there. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned her. Her mayor just couldn't have done without him. And JJ Harris, I mean, he just did, he and Josh and Harold we couldn't have done without all these people.
That's fantastic.
Mayor Douglas has hired a consultant because our park has gotten overwhelmingly larger than we expected. So he's getting a consultant to put it all together to make sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So this is a real exciting thing because we now realize this park is really gonna be a good thing. We want it, like the school's still asking for the BG1 and they're gonna help us maybe find more money, and so it's gonna be a really good thing. We're gonna rest this week, but we're already starting trunk or treat. It's gonna be the 31st from 5 to 7. We're just don't know what all we're gonna do. We're so tired from the last one. We're gonna take a few days, but we're gonna have candy just like Junction City does every year. But we're gonna have some, our little group, Junction City Manager's gonna have a table, and we're gonna have some food there and some things like that. So in 2 weeks, I'll tell you more about it. Avery, my grandson, was at Thomas More, and a little freshman, went out there and blocked a punt 1 week and scored. And then the next week, I didn't get to go to that. That was the 21st. He blocked another punt, so I'm happy for him. Austin is really, nobody wants to throw to his side. It's so boring. They look at him and they're like, nope, going the other way. So he's doing his job and enjoying all that. And I thank my sister for being with my mom so I could go and enjoy all these things too. My mom's like, get out of here, go, you go do that. And I'm like, Mom, I want to stay, no, go. So just real thankful. The Lord's blessed me more than I deserve, so it's good to be back.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
I just want to say congratulations on a successful party in the park. I think I said it on Facebook and I'll say it again. It just goes to show you what teamwork can do. When everybody pulls together and works together, then big things can happen. So
That's exactly
congratulations, and I'm glad it was a successful event.
We're going to keep going.
And keep going, that's right, keep going. Magistrate Harmon.
That's the way the Junction City Park started. And it got kind of set to the side, deteriorated. I know because I was over there with the mowing crew, weed eating crew, picking up trash, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
With the inmates.
Yeah, been doing that for years.
Jailer Woodford and slave driver, I'm telling you. And it was good to be back over doing it, and I'm glad to see Paula has picked the ball up. And somebody decided to kick it, all did it.
Yeah.
And the crowd showed up.
That's right.
Junction City wants it.
Yes.
It's good for Junction City.
Yes,
it is.
Get a manager, keep
Yep.
it up and keep it going.
Right.
We'll see great things
Yeah.
even more.
Oh, yeah.
On my comment last meeting, talked about the traffic flow on Houstonville Road. People running 60, 70 miles per hour, but those have changed their attitude thanks to the Danville PD.
All right.
They're sitting in the middle, running radar. They're sitting up to the side of the road, running radar, and they're writing tickets.
Awesome.
Good.
Don't you think that doesn't change an attitude of a driver?
Yeah.
And that's for safety. That's what it does. Because folks, when we got them running 60, 70 miles an hour down a city street, that is deadly. My neighbor got hit crossing the street. She walked from Walmart and back home on the street I live on. She lived there, and she got hit and nearly died. And she's doing better now, a lot of rehab, but she's doing better now. And those things we don't need to happen.
Right.
In the county, in any of our cities, traffic gotta be controlled.
I heard on the news, radio, small child in Harrodsburg got hit. I think it was yesterday. And so, I mean, it can happen.
Right.
People have to be
Yeah.
aware of
Yeah.
their surroundings and how fast they're going.
When the speed is not monitored, they'll drive whatever they want to drive. But, thanks.
Yeah.
to the law enforcement.
Good deal.
Animal.
It's good to hear.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Master Harmon. Master Cullen?
Couple things. We've had a lot of paving over in my district, which I'm very appreciative of from the state and the county. 34 was tested some people's patience, but Allen Company got out there and took care of it. They tried some new stuff out there, and I think it's working well. So we'll see how that goes. They're out there paving Buster Pike right now on the 33 side. Sadly, it will end at the railroad tracks because we are still waiting for Norfolk to approve some plans and get that bridge underway.
Yep.
I pushed for another meeting between our engineers, state, and Norfolk to get this train moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Literally.
Literally. And then Waterworks Road is, actually, Waterworks is being paved right now, and then Buster Pike's next. We've also had some water main breaks on my part of the county. That's nothing like waking up on a Monday morning, getting ready to go to work, and you ain't got water. But, you know, on the other end, I do appreciate Marshall and his guys. You know, they were out 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday trying to get stuff restored, and so I appreciate that. But, you know, I feel bad for those that had to deal with it. Want to wish a really big congratulations. We don't often talk about other sports outside of football, but Boyle County girls won the 2A state title this weekend, so that was pretty awesome.
Soccer, right?
Soccer, what did I say?
2A.
2A soccer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then on this Saturday, the Kiwanis Chili Cook-Off is going to be over Wilderness Trail Distillery. You can still get your tickets for it, so this will be like one of the first years I get to go. I'm actually pretty excited. I've always had something going on that weekend for whatever.
Are you cooking chili?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Probably, maybe. I want to give other people a chance.
Oh, okay. You be taste tester then.
There you go. Well, I thought this was kind of cool. They're having their 3rd annual pet parade over at Morning Point this Thursday.
Oh.
So, you know, bring your pets out on Thursday night. I forget the time. I think it's 5 something. But it's kind of cool. It doesn't have to be dogs. It doesn't have to be cats. They say bring your llamas, your iguanas, whatever. You know.
Possums.
Be careful that close to the chili cook-off. But yeah, this Thursday night they're having a pet parade, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That's neat.
Senior Center is under construction. I spoke with Ben the other day. They're moving right along, and I'm actually really excited about this project, and I'm glad that we're a part of it. I think there's going to be some great things happening out there for our seniors. Really excited, so I'm looking forward to that grand opening. Like Paula said, trunk or treat parade, you know, on the 31st. From my understanding, Danville's not having one. You know, when I had the restaurant here, they used to have the, you know, up and down Main Street, and they haven't had that for the last couple of years. That I don't think anyone's taking care of that. So this might be your only little trunk or treat parade, you know, in there, and Junction's stepping up.
Well, they come out for that in Junction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was at the Junction City Matters meeting yesterday morning, and there's lots of good ideas happening that'll be happening in that parade. So, but it's good to see, you know, everyone stepping up and offering a lot of, you know, volunteerism for various things. And yeah, Party in the Park was great. They had a lot of great vendors. Some of their food trucks didn't show up, but they actually had a lot of good like dessert vendors, which I actually like even more.
Yeah.
So I was going through the stash yesterday of what we got. There was quite a few things that I bought, and I will not believe Jennifer went through 400 because she tried pushing those things on us 3 or 4 times, and Simon on cotton candy is not good at night. Oh,
it's like you on caffeine.
I'm mild compared to him. So speaking of Junction City Matters, meeting on the 14th at 9 a.m.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. So.
She's got a lot going on, so I figured I'd pick it up and run.
Thank you.
With it. Right now it's at 9 a.m., so come on out. Discussion will be on the, of course, on the park, but also on the parade and and the trick-or-treating, but there's also discussion that we might be moving it to evenings, if we can kind of figure out a good evening to have it and possibly get some more people.
We've had some people say they would come if, so I kind of asked them who's gonna not be able to come at 6. And everybody's like, we can all come, so we're gonna try it, see what happens.
Yeah, so, and then sticking with the Junction City theme, their pancake breakfast is coming up on 10/19. $10 all you can eat, always good. And that's my report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cullen. County Attorney.
I don't have anything other than, I know the Forkland Festival's coming up, and I always enjoy that Fox and Hound race, because not only can you race, but then you get a pancake breakfast with bacon, so that's kind of motivates you to get through it quick, to get before the bacon runs out. So I recommend going to that, and just going to all our local, supporting our local athletic teams. Lots going on in our community, so there's never a dull weekend.
Thank you. Miss Julie, you got anything else?
Only that I've learned how important it is that we keep our records organized.
Yeah.
And Mary had impeccable records, which is how I was able to do this review of the Mercer County money.
Oh, my goodness.
Only Mary that saved this.
That's great. All right, I will close us out. First of all, I want to thank Lance for being here with the newspaper, and Mary Carroll, thank you for being here today. And we've announced about the apparel celebration. I'll just look through my notes here real quick. I've been writing things down as you all are talking. Also, Bourbon Chase is going to be October 4th. That's the Friday night. It'll be coming through Parable and up into Danville, and it's a big time. They have a lot of stuff out here in Weisiger Park, and so come up and cheer on the runners. Are you doing that this year, Chris?
No, I'm not
Okay.
doing the Bourbon Chase. I gotta go help my daughter find a college to go to next year.
Okay, all right. Then the following weekend, like some have said, the Forkland Festival, we are going to have 3 or 4 of our very own employees in the Forkland play. One of them is in this room. Jailer Wofford is going to be making his debut as an actor okay, tell us who else is in it.
Cameron Clem, Chad Holderman, Donnie Privet. Of course, most of y'all may not know. Here's a little history for you. Boyle County Detention Center has the longest running thespian society of any jail in Kentucky.
And Director Coel, are you in it this year?
Not this year.
Not this year, okay, all right. He has been in the past.
Probably 30 years, but I took this year off.
Okay, but you're going to let Brian have a chance. Yeah.
So, if there's some Hollywood agents there, you all may be having to replace 4 of us.
Yeah, 4. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Also, that same weekend at Constitution Square, we're going to have a tree climbing event where they are going to come and professional tree climbers, and I'm not sure what all's involved with that. Julie, you may know, but they're going to come and climb trees. So that'll be going on in Constitution Square Park. Forkland Festival. Also, I believe that this weekend is the last weekend on Golden Pond. And our very own Steve Sleeper is playing the part of Henry Fonda. Oh. So that's pretty, yes, that's pretty impressive that we have all these thespians working for Boyle County government. I mean, that's awesome. So if you get an opportunity and have time, I really want to go. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in my schedule this weekend. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. If I'm not there, I'm with you in spirit. And then let's see.
Oh, I forgot it's my daughter's birthday Saturday. So.
Oh, happy birthday. Well, happy birthday.
Emory.
Happy birthday to Emory. Okay, Employee Health Fair will be coming up on October the 18th. And Shannon and Steve, I think, are both in charge of that. And so getting things ready. So that'll be on October the 18th. Okay, now, I would like to request, I have 2 people that I would like us to adjourn in memory of. I know a lot of you during campaign season have used the little sign shop up on 2nd Street, Ray Boone. He passed away. the day before yesterday. So, you know, he ran a successful business. He's been in the community a long time, homegrown here in Boyle County, local business person. He also had the fireworks, the only locally owned fireworks stand here in Boyle County. So
he would donate a bunch of the proceeds
he
to that,
and to the veterans. He donated to the veterans, so he was a big veteran supporter. So his official name, we all called him Boone, but his official name was William Ray Boone. I would like for us to adjourn in memory of him, and then also in memory of Elena's father, Thomas Chris Plyman. So when someone makes the motion to adjourn, if you all could just include that, I would appreciate it.
Make that motion.
All right, Magistrate Gay?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Harmon. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
All right. Hey, Paula, on that movie Inside Out.